I wanna go cock yourself. Sell your vote, you don't sell your future, but that sell your birthright. How much self divide them by 4 years? How much with that? No sell your vote, oh. No matter the thing them they tell you, no matter how the thing they do you, no matter how much money them they give you, no sell your vote, oh. No need to fight, oh, because your picking no go join you. They won't corner, they laugh you. Oh, no sell your photo. Yeah.
Okay. If you look at the situation, everything harsh for this our nation. Poverty rising and inflation. Line still day for the fuel station. Things gotta change, my determination. This election, no intimidation. Protect your selection, we gotta make sure everybody votes count for the future. For the future.
Shine your eye, well. Don't let anybody deceive you. Don't let them take your vote from you. Now your future be that too. Yeah. Now your future be that, yeah. Oh, yeah. Together we can make Nigeria better. Oh, yeah. One voice. We can make Nigeria better. Oh, yeah.
No sell your vote, oh. No sell your vote. No matter the thing them they tell you. No matter how the thing they do you, no matter how much money them they give you, no sell your vote.
Okay, banya kairu, hey, I beg you photo. Time don't come again, no. Them done they show their face, so no sell your right, oh. Now follow them fight, oh. Yeah. It's over to you, so no fear, speak up, you yo. So ginger, don't let anybody spoil them for you. The power is in you. No sell ammo for money, no sell your boat, your right, your hoe for fufu.
Kumaiza baku sai ya kare. Duk wani tanadin ku sun shashare. Hankalin ku kar ya bace, gaba tafi bayewa. Taimaki kanka ki mi rayuwa da inganci.
No need to fight, oh, because your picking no go join you. They won't corner, they laugh you. Oh, no sell your vote for your bad.
Hey. Mommy, daddy, CC, baby, no make mistake today, we go spoil your tomorrow. Mommy, daddy, CC, baby, the time don't come again to go, so make we match. Go, we go vote, we go come to work together, we go vote, we go decide our future.
Oh, no matter where you come from, we're part of a great nation, now so everyone sing with me, yeah. From the hilltops of Obudu and Enugu, from the plateaus of Jos and Taraba, from the food baskets of Boko and Otubo, yeah, to the smiling, shining sun in Sokoto, we go vote. From Ondo to Jeba, we go vote. From Port Harcourt to Kaduna, yeah, till no one is left behind. Nigeria is yours and mine. Yeah.
Ngema, Alonya vote together. Ngema, Alogwe with each other. Oh, le male. Votes only with your PVC, man. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good day, viewers. You're welcome to NOA River State Dialogue, the platform where we weekly sensitize, enlighten, and educate the populace on government policies, programs, and activities. And in doing that, we consciously get a feedback so that government can properly fine-tune our policies and programs to suit the populace. vote buying and inducement, to people to vote or take decision is synonymous, an age-long problem in this country. Although it's on recent time, it is assuming a worrisome dimension where now, because of the volume of money that is exchanging hand, politicians have resorted to using dollars. Of course, you know that. You know that why they resort to do that, because volumes of money, heavy amount of money, which if you translate it into Naira, it will be cumbersome, almost impossible for people to carry. And so it's now in dollars to tell you how it is. And this situation is an horror. It's a nightmare to Nigeria, because Nigerians in their very before are selling off their future, selling off education, selling off healthcare, selling off infrastructure. That is what is happening. Today, viewers, we will be discussing a topic that is all important, a topic that is so timely and so relevant considering the time. Vote buying, implication on our democracy. And today I have just the right person, the very appropriate person, a round peg in a round hole, so to say. He is no other person. You've been seeing him with us. He's not a new face. He is no other person than Barrister Mark USULOR. Barrister Mark USULOR, it might interest you to know once again, is the head of Department Voter Education and Publicity, INEC, Rivers State.
Good morning, viewers. We are here to enlighten you people about this vote buying and how we may stop it for us to sustain our democracy.
Viewers, I also want to take this time, to tell you that once again, relax, feel free. You are the most important people, viewers. Very, very, very key when it comes to this conversation. Because we're doing this because of you. We want you to hear, we want you to contribute. We want to, bring your comments, how you're feeling them, so that the discussion can be reversed. I am your anchor person, Ami Senmo. Viewers, you know that we have introduced another platform, an additional platform where you can reach us. In case you're the type that is finding it very difficult and worrisome to write, you can talk to us. In due time, the phone lines will be open for you, and so that you can use that avenue for us to interact. At this junction, let us start on this note. Sir, now we've been hearing these things. Like I said, it's not a new thing.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of the Nigerian society. It's a reflection of the corruption that is endemic in this country. Now, and we've been hearing it long. What is vote buying and selling really all about?
Yeah. In the electoral process, vote buying are in stages and expressly, equally impliedly. When you come to pre-election vote buying, it goes to talk about political party activities and how they unduly influence would-be delegates to vote for them. It has turned to a strategy whereby money does everything. Before, political party manifestos and campaign gears people towards choosing the right candidate, but right now, it is no more like that. People are hungry, the citizenry of the country, they are hungry. They will equally tell you that they need money. Whatever thing you are doing, that they need money for them to vote for you. So INEC, in her own capacity, has expressed grief and has expressed worrisomeness because of the development. We have admonished political parties to desist from such acts, but we are seeing it as an impossible task, because when they do the vote buying, we don't know, because we monitor the activities during nomination of candidates. When they do this vote buying, we don't know. But what we've just done is that we've partnered with EFCC. If you were able to watch the presidential nomination of candidates, both PDP and the APC, you will see that the EFCC team were there to know if they can get hold of anybody giving out money to induce a would-be voter or a delegate that day to vote against his wish, which is sacrosanct. We have done this to know if we can check on this, but we find it a very worrisome situation, because nobody has been pinned down on this particular offense, even though not explicitly stated in the Electoral Act. But the INEC chairman last week meeting with political parties had admonished political parties to control the delegates and not to influence them to vote against their wish, because it is morally wrong. If you can influence a would-be voter to vote against his or her wish, it does not go a very far way to sustain the nascent democracy of which we nurture. INEC plays a role of monitoring. We cannot go to start arresting people then, because it is a political party affair. If it is on an election proper time, we know what to do. We have our guidelines and we have measures we have put in place to mitigate such.
Now, you mentioned something while you were saying. Now, you said in the primaries, because it's entirely party affairs.
Yes, of course.
INEC monitors the primaries.
Of course.
And did you say that in that activity, if INEC finds out money is changing hands, they cannot arrest party because it's an exclusively political party activity?
No, the INEC will that's why we partnered with EFCC, that has the jurisdiction to arrest who launders money or who commits a financial offense actually. The EFCC came there, but I said I did not see who they caught because of such acts, you understand? Then political party activities we monitor as well, but you can never see where the politicians are giving out the money. It is done in the dark. That's why I said it is expressly done or implied, you understand? If it is done where our eyes do not catch it, the INEC that monitors and has the statutory power to monitor the activities of the political parties, we cannot do more than what we are doing just to monitor. But if we catch any politician inducing a delegate to vote and giving out money, we will report to EFCC so that the person will be appropriately prosecuted.
No, thank you. Now, apart from, they say buying, which means that, when you say buy means that somebody is selling and somebody is paying and collecting. Now, does it mean that the only way politicians induce voters is only by cash, or there are other means through which they induce them? Because when say buying is not just
I said it is implied or express. Express means you give out the money expressly and the person goes to vote. By so doing, the person may equally snap to prove that he has voted. Then that is express. Implied means you can do it by making promises, and after which they will going to meet somewhere to collect whatever is a consideration to be furnished for such action. That is why I'm saying. So it is a worrisome situation. We cannot actually detect when it is happening, and they are aware that we have the role to play to monitor and to catch whoever that is doing that. They do it in the dark. Why I mean in the dark, they can nocturnally operate. They can operate in the night where nobody can catch them and do this. And human behavior is the worst management. Managing human beings is the worst pattern of human managerial activity you can indulge in. Because if you allow them to act normally according to the law and according to the guidelines of the political parties of which we know about, things will be better. But if you monitor them the way we do, they may act nocturnally, of which we cannot have any evidence to prosecute. So this is one part. This is before the electioneering period. Vote buying can be done impliedly or expressly. That is what I mean. In the light of the day, if they do it to the knowledge of us, then we can raise an alarm that EFCC may grab most of these people that commit this offense.
Okay, now, is it true that vote buying has been in existence, from the inception of Nigerian political process, but only assume a higher dimension with the passage of time? I want you to go back, make a little bit historical analysis of, where we're coming from, vis-a-vis, the corrupt nature of the country, because it's a reflection of the Nigerian society.
As a member of a commission or a parastatal that play a role to monitor the activities of political parties and as well conduct election, the eye of INEC have never caught such vote buying. Inducement can happen before elections. Inducement can happen while the election is going on, but it is not to the eye of INEC. The Commission frowns at such. That is why the Electoral Act in Section 22, Sub 2 and 3 has made it mandatory that anybody caught with another person's permanent voter's card is going to be prosecuted and liable for an imprisonment not more than 2 years or a fine of 500,000 or both. We have mitigated against this by making such proviso in the Electoral Act, of which the offenders are duly prosecuted. And you can see in Akwa Ibom State where election offenses came to the glare of the eye of the Commission, the returning officer has been in court since, has been facing the charges of electoral offenses committed. So we do not pipe low or take it as a mere salvage if we see such thing happening. The Commission will report to the necessary quarters for appropriate prosecution. It has been happening, but in the dark, not in the eyes of the law and not in the eyes of the Commission. But INEC has, in these recent guidelines of elections, has made it mandatory that nobody should go to the polling unit with camera, so that they will not snap the ballot and evidence the fact that they voted for such a political party so that they will go back to collect their money. We've made it as a law, and it is part of the guideline of the election that no voter will go to the polling unit with camera, because if they go there, they will snap the ballot paper to showcase where they have voted so that they will go back to collect their money. That is another way of vote buying, which we are trying to mitigate. Then secondly, we've partnered with EFCC to be everywhere on the election day. If we catch such election malpractice or vote buying per se, we will report to the Commission that has the statutory power of quizzing those that has committed financial offenses. It is a financial offense to induce a voter to vote against his wish because of a certain amount of consideration to be furnished. So that is what I can say about the Commission's move to mitigate it. Then secondly, the Commission has been admonishing political parties to guide against this evil whirlwind that has come to take place of to control the electioneering process. You can see that people that commit frauds, people that indulge in drug peddling, people that are 419ers can come with big money bags now to take over the polity of the country because of vote buying, knowing fully well that people are hungry.
That takes me to this question. Is there a correlation, between vote buying, poverty, and illiteracy? Is there a correlation?
These are the variables that trade that vote buying. The real of which money backs, there would be money backs, and politicians are moving now to buy people that would want to vote normally and for them to vote against their wish. This is the factors that lead to that. Hunger is one, illiteracy is two, then three, being knowing fully well their agents control this. Their agents are members of political parties. That is why I'm saying that the political parties gonna go training, especially INEC gonna train them and equally admonish them to desist from the act. Now that people are hungry in the country, now that people are, most of them are uneducated, the commission has put up so much money in voter education and has geared the effort of voter education that everybody should be sensitized to not to collect money to vote against his wish, which is sacrosanct in the electoral process.
Thank you. At this point, let us join our correspondents, to take a feedback from AKUPUE local government area where Ben Owayi Ituru is standing by. Ben Owayi Ituru, take it up there. Your own.
Good morning, Mr. Abie Senibo. I am Ben Owayi Ituru, reporting from AKUPUE local government area, and Yama, precisely the headquarters of the LGA. This morning, I am reporting on the issue, vote buying, and the implications on our democracy. Today, our discussant is Mr. Lucky Ezo. Mr. Lucky Ezo is here with us to discuss the subject matter with us. Mr. Lucky Ezo, you're welcome, sir.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Nigerians. I welcome you all to this program. I want to let us be attentive to the program of discussion today, which is the effect of vote buying on our economy. I want to let us know that Nigeria as a country, if there is anything we need most, is a leadership that is forthright, a leadership that can deliver. And that can only come when there is sincere commitment by the electorate to enthrone a leadership that is focused. And you cannot achieve that if you are going to sell your conscience, if you are going to be gratified before you can do what is right. My people of this country, I want to let us know that this is a new era. And in this era, for the country to move forward, especially at this period that the economies of the world are turning down, we really require a leadership that can take us to the next level. And that will only happen if our consciences are not sold, if gratifications are not paid, if we don't sell our votes. I encourage us in the forthcoming election, that of 2023, the electorate should look up to the best candidate that can deliver so that the benefit of democracy will be for us all. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show, Mr. Lucky. Over to you at the studios, Mr. Abie Senibo.
Thank you, Ben Owayi Ituru there. Let's, in the same vein, we're going to also join our correspondents from Echie local government where Irene Akahele is on standby. Irene, please take it up.
Thank you, Mr. Abie Senibo, for having me on the show this morning. I'm standing at the palace of the paramount ruler of Umueche community in Echie local government area. Standing with me here now this morning is Ochimba Samson Emu. Ochimba Chekao. You are welcome in this show. Our topic this morning says vote buying and the implication to our democracy. What is your own contribution to it?
Thank you for having me here. My own contribution is that vote buying is exchange of our vote with money or with other materials. The implication is that it brings back ways of our democracy and it makes our conscience to elect not a credible candidate who will rule because of our vote buying. and it brings our democracy down, not forward. This is my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ochimba. People have already heard what Ochimba said, that vote buying is when you must have exchanged your vote with money or other materials. When you must have done that, I mean, you don't have any voting power any longer. Whosoever they ask you to vote, that is the person that they are going to vote. And by that, doing that, you will not get the credible candidate you have in your mind. So this brings about our democracy, brings it down until we go out of this. That is when Nigeria will move forward. This is our own contribution from Eche local government area. Thank you, Abie Senebo.
Thank you, Madam ARINZE, for your insightful reporting there. God bless you. At this point, viewers, we're going to be opening the telephone lines. We're going to be opening the telephone lines, to give you another platform where you can, connect with us. The telephone line are on the screen as you can see them. I'm going to read them out to you. The telephone line is +234 91 66 58 73 55. I take that once again. +234 91 66 58 73 55. Please, when you call, the first thing you do, reduce the device through which you are viewing. Reduce the device, then your name and where you're calling from. That's your location, and then go straight to your comment. Please, this program is strictly for sensitization, for enlightenment, and for reorientation. So keep your conversation as civil as you can, please. No unsubstantiated claim. God bless you. So keep the calls coming. We're expecting. We're very excited to hear your voice. Now, would it be correct to say that one of the major hindrances to the delivery of the dividends of democracy is vote buying?
Very correct.
I want you to expatiate.
Yes. The moment you mortgage your will and wish in trying to elect credible leaders to rule us, you've already trampled upon nominating somebody who will observe, or nominating a leader who will observe the Chapter 2 of the Constitution, that is the fundamental principles and directives of state policy, whereby the dividends of democracy will be provided to the citizenry of the country. Secondly, you nominate bad leaders that will not observe the fundamental human right as enshrined in Chapter 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then you equally nominate a bad leader that will be breaching the rule of law. When these three factors are not in place, then we don't have a country and we don't have a nascent democracy. It will tell on the people, and will tell on the people so hard that they will either resort to vote buying, or is a collection of money to vote, and so that they can equally eat, to feed their stomach. Now, as it is in the country now, you cannot come out to say vote for me without them asking you to give me something, because the masses are hungry. Then that is why we are clamoring for these 2023 elections, that the citizenry of the country, the electorate, should come out en masse. Go get your PVC so that you vote in a credible president of Nigeria that will observe all these three factors I've mentioned before, so that you have a good Nigeria, so that you have a Nigeria devoid of criminality, Nigeria devoid of hunger, and Nigeria with good economic living and good well-being of the society, so that you have your freedom and the fundamental human right observed as the Constitution enshrined. Now, secondly, I would like to talk about reasons for this vote buy.
Now, before we go into that, let me just take some comments.
Okay.
The comments are loaded here, but I think we'll do justice to as much as we can. Now, the first one I have here is from Bridget Idemio. Vote buying is deceitful and destructive because, vote buying is deceitful and destructive because the favorite candidates of the masses are usually not declared winners. No, that's very, very correct, Bridget, Madam Bridget. Yeah, thank you for your thoughts. This one again from Bridget. It leads to regret as most candidates declared winners based on vote buying have little or nothing to offer in governance. Absolutely true, Madam Bridget. God bless you for your thoughts. Yeah, Peter Ikabie, candidates of vote buyers believe all they need to do is to be elected is to pay off voters and government officials. They will have no incentive to be, responsive to issues, of their constituents. Thank you, Ikabie, for your thought. This one is from Rosemary Abiat. Vote buying is dangerous and is against true democracy, and also it can stop the economic growth of our country. That is very, very correct. That is very, very correct, Madam. Thank you for your contribution. Igbo Temi Tiger, your view live with us. God bless you. Elias Sharp Jumbo. Vote buying is a bane of Nigeria. Thank you for your comment here. Doris Omaku is streaming live with us. It's good to know that you're streaming live with us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is from Peter Ikebio. Vote buying, obstructs the democratic process by interfering with the rights of citizens to freely decide who will represent them and their interests. This is very, very correct. This one again is from Rosemary Abbey. Vote buying can cause political crisis, which is tantamount to bad governance. You are not far from the truth, Madam. God bless you. God bless. Samuel Ashibad is sitting live with us. Live with us. This one is from Adus Glad. Without the seller, there is no buyer. Of course, that's true. It's transaction. Therefore, selling and buying of votes should be discouraged by the seller and buyer, and INEC should place a penalty one found in the process to secure democracy. I can't quite understand the last part of your message. Okay, please. A penalty, anyone found on the process of scuffling democracy. I'm sure that's what you meant. Thank you very, very much. This is from Waikana Command. Waikana Command. Vote buying has led to the apt description of Nigerians' electoral politics as cash and carry democracy. If not urgently addressed, this trend portends grave danger for Nigerian democracy. I completely agree with you. Thank you for your wonderful comment there. Elizabeth Okere, vote buying is simply selling your conscience, and that's one of the problem of the country. That is exactly. Epalwa Prince Will, is good to know that you're streaming live with us. Thank you very, very much. Yeah. Charles William Ambara, you're streaming live with us. Thank you very much. Thank you. This one is also from Adus. The implication of vote buying by electorate is that the outcome of the electoral process results will not represent the individual potential of the candidate, because he who paid will carry the day. Thank you very much. I will come back. Keep your comments coming. We will come back. Once again, I want to read out the telephone lines for those that want to make voice call. We want to hear your voice. Honestly, we want to hear. I know it's not everybody that is good at wanting to type message, but with the voice call, all you need, pick up your phone and then just dial the number, and then a conversation will be ensued. Now the numbers once again is +234 91 66 58 73 55. I take it once again. +234 91 66 587355. We are eagerly waiting to hear your voice. I will come back to the conversation, sir.
Okay.
You said, what are responsible? What are those things behind propelling, the vote buying? What are the reasons for the vote buying?
Okay. Let me just start slowly from the conduct of elections. The law has made it impossible for politicians to come in between the process of election and the citizenry of the country. Well, first and foremost, there are innovations in the Electoral Act that had legalized the use of electronic device in our conduct of election. One, to accredit would-be voters. That is called the BVAS machine, Biometric Voter Accreditation Machine. This machine is no more the one that used to be like a smart card reader. They don't use smart card reader to accredit facials of would-be voters. Would-be voters will come now approaching a presiding officer. The presiding officer will bring out a BVAS machine and check if your name is there and check your fingerprint. The machine will equally check your facials, and the machine will inquire to know if you are not a robot, or in that process the machine will ask you to smile and you will smile. The machine will acknowledge the fact that you are not a robot. Then before you will be accredited to vote.
If a robot, can robot be asked to smile and robot smile?
We will know. A robot cannot come to Nigeria now to vote. We will know.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
there are other surrounding checks we have, because human beings can equally say that this is a robot. You understand? So because of this, you cannot use incident form again or use another person's permanent voter's card to come to vote. The machine will not allow such action. That is one. Two, the use of incident form cannot happen again because overvoting is being checked by those present at the polling unit, those that are being accredited to vote in this electioneering process. The law has made it impossible for incident form to be used, because in those days, in the days past, during the elections, when nobody is coming to vote again, they will check the number in the register and maybe provide the incident form for people to fill and probably vote. By so doing, electioneering malpractice will come in. They will bargain with the agents of political parties so that they will start on printing the ballot papers.
So what you're saying is that this point are the catalyst for vote buying?
Yes.
Okay.
It has stopped. No more usage of incident form. The BVAS machine will accredit you and make sure you're a human being that has a surname and background, and people know you there. Then before they issue you the ballot, you must the people around will know that you are from here and that look at the person that is going to vote. Then the number of voters present there being accredited through this BVAS machine. The people that are going to vote, then the check of overvoting, whereby they check through the register to know before it is being made. Those that vote more than the registered voters in the register, they will say that the election is an anomaly, that we've committed an anomaly. But right now, it is those that being accredited by the BVAS machine. These are the people that are going to vote on the election day. Overvoting will be checked through this means. So there is no way for any form of rigging. And more so, the results in the polling unit are being published at the polling unit via EC60E. There is a form that is called Form EC60E, whereby you publish election of a polling unit before transcending to the collection center.
Thank you, sir.
Now, the remittance of votes, remittance of ballots.
Let me take you on this one.
Okay.
And you have given enough points why the catalyst of vote buying.
Yes.
What is enhancing it?
Yeah.
Now you see, buying and selling of vote facilitates the emergence of wrong candidates. and to changes the citizens of their democratic rights. What's your take? I just want you, because that is the basic thing. Every conversation here is about the people. What is the vote buying doing to the masses? What is vote buying doing to infrastructure? What is vote buying doing to education? What is vote buying doing to health care? What is vote buying doing to all these things? Because these are what the masses benefit. So what, when wrong candidates are thrown up, then people lose their democratic rights. So I want you to
okay, maybe you are not mindful of what I've been saying. I said vote buying is an arrow against Section 2 of the Constitution. That is fundamental principles and directives of state policy. This is where the Constitution has made it possible for amenities to be provided for the citizenry. Health, education, and housing. 2. If there is vote buying, the wrong leaders will be chosen and they will not observe this chapter 2 of the Constitution. It will tell on the citizenry and the Nigerian populace, whereby hunger, no shelter, no employment, and everything will come to a place, whereby the citizenry will bear the brunt. The people of Nigeria will bear the brunt. Then armed robbery, youthful brigandages, like insurgency will come to play. That is what we are experiencing now. Because if by any chance you do not observe chapter 2 of the Constitution, you are not a good leader. You are not a visionary leader, and you are not a leader that is carrying the Nigerian populace along. This nascent democracy is supposed to be nurtured. That is why we are here today to sensitize the populace against this undue influence of vote buying. It is telling on us and it is destroying our democracy that has been nurtured to this extent so far.
Now, this question is very, very key and important. And now, do you think Nigerians know the implication and the consequences of buying and selling their votes? Because, a great preacher, said, if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Of course.
Yes. So do you think they know the implication and the consequences of selling and buying votes?
Okay.
Because if they do, they perhaps will not do. But if you don't know, so I want you.
Lack of awareness is the cause. Lack of awareness, illiteracy is the cause of not knowing. Some know and some do not know. Some play a game to get rich and make others get rich for the moment. And the moment we stop getting what is imminent for us to get rich now and become hungry the following day, vote buying will stop. Awareness is the key. For us to sensitize the populace and let them know that vote buying is a counterworm against this nascent democracy. If we go by sensitizing and geometrically letting people know that the effect of vote buying, I hope it will stop. They do not know. The rural populace do not know. The people living at the countryside do not know. There would be delegates from political parties from wards and other areas do not know about the effect of this vote buying. That is why the Voter Education Department of INEC River State, partnering with NOA, is now to try to sensitize people about the dangers of vote buying. It is going to destroy all and sundry in futuro. It is going to destroy our nascent democracy. It is going to destroy our unborn children. It is going to destroy our future democratically.
Thank you, sir. At this point, let us carry along some comments here. Walama Brown, you're streaming live with us. Thank you very, very much. Kobane Benabare, vote buying is a political disease that needs urgent treatment. My brother, you have said it all. Thank you very much for your comment. Adus Glad, the problem of our democracy is a problem of our leaders. If political aspirant is confident and have the will, welfare of the electors at heart, there will be no selling and buying of votes. Thank you. Yeah. Charles William Opera, vote buying leads to electing mediocres into governance. As a people, we should fight against it. My brother, that is what we are doing. We are contributing our quota. We are fighting. We are lending our voice. Yes. This is from Young Ayatamno. Vote buying us vote selling equals bad governance and underdevelopment. This is a wonderful summary from our own state director, who is also viewing live. Ben NOA, you're watching live with us. Thank you very much. Bani Gosote, thank you to know that you're welcome, Emmanuel. This issue of vote buying during election is only overshadowed by nothing. The father of all electoral fraud is vote buying, because it gives room to electoral malpractices. You have said it all, electoral malpractices. Golden Female, you're streaming live with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, let's come back. I want to, as a lawyer, I want to know this. We're rounding up. Time is of essence. We're rounding up. As a lawyer, is there a law? Yeah, is there a law prohibiting, vote buying, in essence, electoral malpractice? If yes, why is it that from the inception, from the first Republic up to now, we have not had one person that has been arrested and prosecuted and has served a jail term because of vote buying?
Yes, that is what I said earlier. Vote buy is not expressly and explicitly stated in the Electoral Act, but in Section 22, Sub 2 and 3, made a proviso that if anybody is caught with another person's permanent voter's card on the election day with the intention to vote or to debar the duly owner of that permanent voter's card from voting, it amounts to 500,000 naira fine or imprisonment not more than 2 years or both. It is not expressly stated that vote buying is an offense, but it culminates to electoral offense, of which if an offender is caught in such act, we will take it as an electoral offense and prosecute. We will know how to catch the person and send the person to EFCC for proper prosecution. INEC has partnered with EFCC to guide against this vote buying. That is why you could see them during the nomination of presidential candidates of PDP and APC. They were hovering around. I was watching them on the telly where they were moving from here and there to know if they can catch anybody that is committing this vote buying. INEC has tried to partner with this parastatal to checkmate that vote buying we are talking about.
Now, sir, what can be done to eradicate the issue of vote buying in our democratic system?
Thank you. Amendment of the Electoral Act, of which it is not easy to amend the Electoral Act. You know the rigors of the last amendment, and I implore INEC and the National Assembly to collaborate to know how to make a law that will mitigate against this cankerworm that is eating deep into our nascent democracy. And I would implore INEC to bring a check that on election day to know if we, of which we've done, nobody is going to go to the polling unit with camera to snap a ballot to go and show the political gladiators where he or she is voting, so that a consideration will be furnished after all. So that is where I'm saying that we as the body monitoring political party campaigns and congresses and nominations and conducting elections, we are not keeping our eyes closed. We are opening our eyes to see, to campaign and get up awareness, to sensitize people, admonish political parties to stop this vote buying.
Thank you, sir. Let me just take those two messages and I'll come back for your last, your parting words. This one is from Barry Waituru. Many forget that money from vote sold is a momentary gain. The long-term gain is what they fail to consider, my brother. Temporary pleasure. Yeah. Now this one is from Samuel Ashibat. Vote buying is an offshoot of corruption. So the buyers is an offshoot of corruption. So the buyers and sellers are corrupt. Corruption. So the buyers and sellers are corrupt and should be treated as such. Vote buying is not a tenet of democracy and should be rejected by all. Oh, thank you very much. Anthony Onyekwere. Votes buying implication on our democracy. Buying of vote is a layman understanding. means playing someone to buy the person's conscience to vote for the candidate that he or she did not like. Thank you very, very, very much. At this point, we're going to take our correspondents who, even as we round up, our correspondents who is on standby from Andoni local government area. Mr. Samuel Ashibad, you are on. Please just take it up.
Center, NOA River State Dialogue. This is Mr. Samuel Achibon, Community Orientation and Mobilization Officer in charge of Andoni local government area. Our topic today is vote buying and its implication on our democracy. Vote buying being that voters will sell their vote, collect money from candidates, and vote because of money they have collected. I have with me Chief Gogo Nicholas Ogbologbidim. Gogo Nicholas Ogbologbidim is a political scientist, a traditional ruler, public affairs analyst. He's here to talk more on the topic. Sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I am no other person other than Ogbologbidim Gogo Nicholas, a chief from Andoni and precisely from AKUPUE community, the head of Ogbologbidim family. But right now I'm talking from GSS Asrama because I am a staff of GSS Asrama. Just like we introduced the topic, vote buying and its implication on our democracy. And I will say that vote buying is a situation where an aspirant or a contestant give an electorate money to vote for him. And its implication on our democracy. Democracy, they said, it is the active participation, to my best knowledge, of every eligible electorate in the periodic election of their representative, either directly or indirectly, for the enthronement of majority rule while ensuring the safety and guarantee of minority. But on the general balance, they say it is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. I also disagree with that. But you know, vote buying as it is, to every human, except you are not rational, everyone has judged vote buying as a bad thing. It's the negative thing to our democracy. It is even not expected. But I don't know why it is happening in Nigeria. And I don't know outside Nigeria if there's any other place where people give voters money to vote for them. A voter is supposed to vote based on his or her conscience. So it is apparently bad for someone to collect money from somebody to vote for the person. One, it may lead to you voting the right person. Voting the wrong person rather. Because when you collect money from somebody, you might definitely vote against your conscience. And it leads to bad governance. Most of things that are happening in Nigeria today, you see a lot of people complaining. The ecosystem is not good. That is known. There is hunger.
Sorry, that we could not take that correspondence, that report from Andoni local government to its food because of want of time. Please, this program is time bound. Barrister.
Yeah.
Your passing word for the people.
Yes, I just want to let the viewers know that everybody is a voter educator. Voter education should come from the family we come from. The would-be voters that are turned 18 should listen to their parents. To the parents of the would-be voters should be educating them that vote buying is the worst menace that has come to stay in our polity. Now, get your PVC, not to sell to get money, is just to vote the rightful candidate that you observe chapter 2 of the Constitution, chapter 4 of the Constitution, and a good leader, a visionary leader, leader that will carry everybody along, leader that will entice everybody to vote again at the second term, leader that will make everybody not to be hungry, shelter, education, and economic factor of the country will be improved. By so doing, Nigeria will be okay. Now, get your voter's card, come to INEC office Aba Road, come to INEC office at the local government level. We have shared our movement of IFED machines that are capturing people that want to register in all wards, in all the wards. We will give it now to NOA to disseminate to all their facets of information, and everybody should register that has turned 18 and above and has not registered before. If it is for transfer, you can do it with your Android phone. If it is to correct your updates in the PVC, you can do it with your Android phone. Those that want to register afresh should come to INEC. The online registration has closed 30th of May. The 30th of June, the in-person registration is going to close. So make haste now while the sun shines, so that you vote a credible candidate during this general election of 2023 to lead Nigeria to a greater path and to a path whereby hunger will stop, a path whereby insurgency will stop, a path whereby armed robbery will stop. No more kidnapping if you vote rightly with your PVC. Thank you very much. We'll be viewers.
Viewers, you have heard. By the way, once again, let me tell you, the person you are hearing his voice is Barrister USULOR, head of Department Voter Education, and that's what he has just done. He's educating you. Yes, he's an authority. That's what he does. He's educating you. On this note, we're going to be wrapping up a NOA River State dialogue today. I want to, appreciate Mark USULOR from the depth of our heart on behalf of NOA River State. I want to appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank you.
Thank you very
for
much.
your contributions.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, you're king. You're king. I must say you're king because, do you know why you're king? Because each day we come here, you add flesh to the conversation. You make the conversation robust. You make it happen. So thank you very much. If there be anyone, we perhaps we don't read your message or for any reason, it's not because we don't want to read your message. Everybody is important here. But as you know now, it's time bound. It's 1 hour. And when good conversations are on, time flies. I also want to use this medium to thank the executive producer of NOA State Dialogue and the person of Dr. Gaba Abari, DG National Orientation Agency. I want to, in the same vein, thank the producer, Barrister Young Ayatabano, who is the State Director of River State. And my heartfelt warm thank you, appreciation also goes to the studio director of NOA River State Dialogue, is in person of Mr. Aroyotem Briggs. Is the man behind the camera making things to happen. And of course, he has able assistant with him who does things, who make things to happen. She's no other person than Mrs. Ifoma Olodugbe. I appreciate all of you. On this note, we call it a day. Until we come your way again next week, same time. Let me give you this. We are doing part 2 of this thing, this very topic, vote buying. So begin to prepare ahead. Thank you. Now I leave this message with you. When you sell your vote, you're selling your education away. When you sell your vote, you're selling the health system, health system away. When you sell your vote, you are selling away your security. When you sell your vote, you're selling everything that has to come with good governance. You're selling the entire package of your life. So don't sell your vote. Go get your PVC and participate responsibly in the forthcoming 2023 general election. God bless you. Until we come your way again next week, same time. My name is Abiye Senimo, your anchorman. Cheers.